To love your locks is to give them the time and space that they need to do their own thing. So that means having days where your hair just looks like this, or like something similar to this, where it's just free and doing whatever it pleases to do. Since that's something that you're gonna have to get used to having locks, you're gonna have to find a way to work around that. And the best way is to do some no retwist hairstyles. There will be times where you want to go out, you have things to do, you have to work. Finding and doing some cute no retwist hairstyles is a way that you can meet your hair halfway in this process. It's what's best for you and what's best for your hair. In my last video, I touched on some lock tips and tricks and just some of the basics that you need to know if you're starting your locks or if you want to maintain healthy locks. So make sure you check that out if you haven't already. But I mentioned in that video that I hate frizz. I hate it. So me sitting here like this is crazy because my hair just looks insane. But this is how it usually is if I'm just home or just whatever. This is how my hair usually looks most of the time. I'm going to give you guys 10 no retwist hairstyles that are easy to do and pretty quick. The only product that I'm going to use is just some leave-in conditioner and water mix. This is the brand that I use. She hasn't failed me. I've been using it for years. So I'm going to spray my hair with this. And then the only other product that I'm going to use is my edge control. And if y'all see me looking over to the side right here, I have a mirror for a point of reference. So before I get into any of the styles, I'm just going to free my hair really quick and spray it with the leave-in conditioner that I just showed y'all. And that's mainly because I have to do this every day, but especially since I'm going to be manipulating my hair quite a bit, I just want to make sure that it's hydrated and basically prepped for everything that I'm about to do. And I'm making sure that I get my scalp pretty good, because the last thing you would want, or that I would want, is breakage. Alright, so I feel like I got that pretty saturated. And I'm going to show y'all really quick how I do my edges. I get a lot of questions about this. The technique that I use to lay my edges really isn't too complicated. My edge brush is freaking grody. I need to get a new one. But I just get a decent amount of edge control on my brush, on the tip of my brush. And I kind of pull out my edges. Sometimes I use all of this hair here. Sometimes I don't. It just depends on what kind of look I want. I also did cut my edges not that long ago. They were just getting to be too much. I literally had like bangs right here. So I just pull down the section that I want to be my edges. And I'll put the edge control on the top part of my hair, just to kind of lay the top part down. And I'll brush that down. And then I go in with a little bit more. And I finish off the ends. I just do one swoop. This part's already laid. It's not going anywhere. So that's just basically laying the foundation down for them. And then with the ends, you have a little bit more of a lighter hand with these. And you just swoop that back into your hairline. And it is as simple as that. If you want to create edges while you have locks, you can literally just part out some of the hair from your locks. That's not the best thing to do, but if you feel like you don't have enough edge hair there, you can create your own edges if you want to. This looks a little crazy and gappy because some of the hair is clumped together. So for this part, I'm just going to use the comb bit of the brush to just kind of separate the hair. So I'm just going to comb it straight through. Just so the swoop looks a little bit more uniform. I probably should cut these too because this is about to go into my eyebrow. To get them to lay down all day, I would put on my headscarf and just leave it on for 10-15 minutes, or just long enough to give them time to really mold to my skin. Okay, so technically this is a hairstyle because I could do a middle part, side part, but I'm not going to include that because I feel like that's obvious. Here I have the hairstyles in my notes. The first hairstyle that I like to do is called a party bun, and it's so easy. I call it a party bun because it's a business in the front, party in the back. All you have to do is just gather all of your hair. Act as if you're about to put it in a ponytail, but stop right before you include all of your hair. That's literally it. And I like this style because it mimics the look of a claw clip, and it's super difficult to find claw clips that are strong enough to support locks. And then you just fluff it out a little bit and kind of manipulate it to make it look however you want it to look. But this is kind of a quick and easy way to kind of emulate that claw clip hairstyle, something that gets your hair off your shoulders. Super cute. I love it. I do this hairstyle so often. The Party Bun has a lot of versatility because you can either do one bun, you can do two like I'm about to show you, or you can do the one with bangs in the front. Like you can put all your hair in the back and then do some in the front. Or you can do two with bangs. Like you get a lot of variety with this one, which I love. So I'm going to show you really quick how I do two. Same thing. I just bust my hair down the middle, act as if I'm putting my hair in a ponytail, and I'm stopping right before I put it all the way through. Now honestly, this hairstyle looks way cuter with shorter hair because shorter hair sticks up a lot better. My hair kind of just drops. That's the only thing I miss about my locks being a little bit shorter is I don't have that crazy volume. But like I said with the first one, just kind of make it do whatever you want it to do. Make it look how you want it to look. This one's a little uneven. Hold on. But yeah, so cute, so simple. And also if you want to make them full buns, you can take all the excess hair and wrap it around and pin it right about here. And for the pins, I would suggest that you use the wide bobby pins because you need something that's going to be able to hold a good bit of hair at once. This next hairstyle is something that I don't do often, but every time I do it, I love it. And it's also another one that has so much versatility. You can do a good bit with it too. So all I'm going to do is take little black rubber bands and put my hair in a sequence of mini ponytails. Now, like I said, it has a lot of versatility because you can choose how much hair you want in each ponytail. You can have a whole head full of them. You can either randomly select and do them like how I'm about to do. Also, you can put them in your hair like this where it kind of looks like almost like a side part. You can have them level and do a middle part. You can have multiple ponytails like a halo. I'm going to show y'all just a few variations of it. But this is just a quick and easy way. And I'm not even looping the rubber band around twice. I'm just putting it around one time. Just for the purposes of showing y'all. I think I have, this makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This makes 5 ponytails about my head. Okay, I just looked in the mirror and it actually looked pretty crazy. So let me be a little bit more intentional about where I'm putting each ponytail. So I decided to do 4 ponytails in the front and then have the pattern a little bit more random in the back, to kind of give your hair a little bit more volume, to kind of have the ponytails sit up a little bit straighter out of your head. All you can do is either take the rubber band and loop it around more times, or just take one lock out of the ponytail and circle it around that rubber band. And you can wrap it all the way around and let it stay, or secure that wrapping with another rubber band. I'm gonna have to pin it. The ponytail's sticking out more. It's more prominent. It's more defined, and it doesn't look like my hair is just laying flat against my head. So with these two, there's a clear difference as to how they looked before. I'm just going to repeat that with the other ponytails in my head. I really like doing this hairstyle when I want a 90s type of look, and I mentioned that this has a lot of versatility as well because you can take these ponytails and form buns from them. This hairstyle basically is like the preparation phase of Bantu knots, just sectioning out your hair and putting it in defined ponytails. So I'm just going to show y'all how that's going to look if I did Bantu knots from these ponytails that I have. All I'm going to do for the Bantu knots is just wrap my hair around and secure it with a rubber band. So from me just putting up the front parts, you can kind of see the picture of how it's going to look. I'm actually going to leave the rest of the back down so that I can show y'all another style that branches off of this one. So I've taken all the little rubber bands out of the back parts of my hair. And I'm just going to take all this hair and put it in a ponytail. And a fairly high ponytail, just so that it's prominent. With all my ponytails, I like just bust it down the middle and have it hang behind me. And then you can also put like a scrunchie up here, or like any hair accessories in your Bantu knots up top. And then also, I made mine in the front kind of big, but if you use less locks, they'll be a little bit smaller, so you can kind of see the ponytail that you have in the back. So this next hairstyle does require for you to have a little bit of hang time, but all it is just 2 ponytails. And again, there's so much versatility because you can do the ponytails up, down the sides, or down behind you like this, which is what I'm gonna do. And once you make those ponytails, you can braid them, you can twist them. I think for the purposes of showing y'all, I'm gonna twist them. And I'm just using a thick hair tie and making 2 ponytails that are behind my ears. I just like the look of that a little bit better, just to show off my face. And then all I'm gonna do is twist them. So I'm gonna split it in half, take the 2 sections, and twist like this while I'm 2-strand twisting. So I'm twisting and I'm twisting. I'm twisting 2 different types of ways. And this is just so that the twist stays intact and it stays fairly uniform all the way down my hair. I do have some that are shorter, so for these shorter ones, I just tuck them into the hair as best as I can. And if not, then not. My hair is just gonna do its thing. And I'm gonna end it off with a rubber band. As you can see, the ends aren't one uniform length. So all I'm gonna do is take all those ends, fold them back, and then rubber band them this way, just so it looks a little bit cleaner. Since I didn't take as much time as I should have and twist as hard as I could have because my hair is thick, it's a little loose in this part. So to kind of correct that, even though my hair is already closed off on the end, I'm going to twist it as hard as I would want it to be twisted to make it look a little bit more uniform, and put a rubber band over that section so it kind of stays that way. And this is it. Now from these 2 ponytails, we're going to create a halo. All you have to do for this halo hairstyle is take the ponytail and twist it and wrap it around your head. And then to secure it, you're going to have to use a good bit of bobby pins, I won't even lie. The bobby pins are going to be along the back just so people can't see them. And then the end part of your hair is going to want to touch the ponytail on the opposite side. That's going to be your base where you secure each of the halos. And you are going to have a lot of flyaways. So that's why I just said it's going to require a lot of bobby pins, not only to anchor it down, but to secure all this too. For the flyaways, I'm using a more flat bobby pin because I know that's not going to move at all. It's going to stay exactly where it is. So with the other ponytail, again, you're going to twist. And you're going to do the same thing, but along the back on the opposite side. Okay, this one requires a lot of patience because off camera, I've had to redo the front part like twice. So take your time with this one. Even though it's easy, you gotta take it slow. But still, even though you're taking it slow, it won't take you longer than like 15 minutes. It's just a matter of making sure you're intentional about where you're putting each of your pins and making sure that it secures what you're putting down effectively. Okay, I did it. This hairstyle is one that I don't do often, but it's one that I do if I don't have a bonnet. So if I need to kind of secure my hair down, this is how I would wrap my hair, and I just would tie a scarf on top of it. But this hairstyle is so like regal and elegant, and it's very out of the way, and I like it a whole lot. It's really cute. What people don't show you is how to lay down your hair without a retwist, without actually twisting any of the perimeter, any of the middle, or anything like that. So I'm going to show y'all how I would do a middle part, or just wear my hair down if I was leaving the house. So again, I'm going to respray my hair because it's already soaked up a lot of the moisture I gave it earlier. And my holy grail, my saving grace, is Loc'd body foam. This is another product that I've been using for years, and it works like a charm every time. This is like the main tool that you're gonna need for this. I also use like a flat brush. I don't really use my brush like that. I just tend to smooth it down with my hands. All you're gonna do is bust your hair down in whatever part you want it to be in. Kind of emulate how you want it to be molded on your head. And with your hands, smooth down your flyaways. Spray at least 2 to 3 generous pumps of foam. I'm going to do 4 because my first one was a little weak. So about this much foam. Rub it in your hands like so. And smooth it down onto your hair. So once your hair is kind of smoothed down, molded down, make sure you get it really, really good. You're going to take a silk scarf. Specifically silk, because any other fabric, I don't think it would do as well. And if you don't know how to fold it, so I have my square here. All I'm going to do is diagonally match it corner to corner. So then you'll have something that ends up looking like this. I'm going to take the longest part, flip it over my head, drape it over to a good spot on my forehead that I know is going to be secure. I'm actually going to put my hair back. And I'm going to take the 2 ends and tie underneath my hair. You may have to adjust it some. I don't really like the hair sitting on my ears when I do this. And I'm going to tie it super tight. Super, super as tight as you can take it. And just leave it. Just chill out. I usually do this while I'm getting ready. I'll get my hair out of the way first. And then go and do my eyebrows, get dressed, do whatever I need to do while my hair is just melting. Now, typically, I let it stay for about 10 minutes before I leave the house. Or I just stay like this until I reach my destination. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it on. Actually, I'm going to set a timer. And I'll be back. Alright, so after that time has passed, you just undo your scarf. And boom. Your hair is giving bust down. Your hair is flat, it's laid down, it looks nice and neat. And that is the secret to how I have my hair laid. Every single time, even though I don't have a retwist. From here, to further secure it, you can put bobby pins on the tops of your hair, just down your hair, or kind of wherever in places you feel like it may creep back up. I usually don't have that issue of my hair creeping back up, but it depends on the weather conditions. Like in the summer, I have to use pins because the heat and humidity where I live is insane, so my hair just frizzes right back up. But since it's winter time, I can go out and be fine just like this. So the bust down middle is one hairstyle, and then you can also do a slick back ponytail. Slick backs are already hard to do because they require so much product. That's something that you definitely want to avoid in locks for sure. I'm sure y'all know that by now. But for the slick back ponytail, you're going to section out the front pieces of your hair. Or if you want a side part, you would section it off like that. And with all the hair that's in the back, go ahead and make your ponytail. And make it pretty tight and secure because this is supposed to emulate a slick back. Okay, so my ponytail is looped around 2 times, and I'm going to take the hair that we had in the front, kind of mold it down to see how I want it to look on my head. The way like this is covering my ears, so I'm going to move it back just a smidgy. And I'm going to make a smaller secondary ponytail underneath my first bigger one. So I have the hair back, I'm going to take a smaller, thinner hair tie. And I'm going to pull it just to tighten it a little bit. Just take some hair from the lower ponytail and wrap it around the entire situation. So I'm going to go ahead and do that just to show y'all how it would look. So I'm going to take that hair, wrap it, and secure it with a wide bobby pin. Okay, so this is how our slick back is kind of looking. Also from that slick back, you can release your bigger ponytail and do a style kind of that is half slick in the front and out in the back. Or I probably should make the ponytail part in the back a little smaller or use less locks. This one also has a super neat look. The front is laid down flat and the back is out minding its business. So these last 2 hairstyles are actually overnight styles, but I'm just going to show you how you would prep your hair and the techniques that you'll use to get the best kind of look. So the first style is going to be overnight curls, and depending on what tools you use, your curls are going to look just a smidge different. So lately I've been using these rollers. You can just get these from the hair store. Actually, all these products you can get from the hair store. And depending on the size roller you use, that determines how your curl is going to look, how tight or loose it's going to be, and how long it stays. Also, you can use these hard, I think they're called cold wave rollers. They're plastic and they have a little part on the end. And again, depending on what type you use or what size you use, your curls are going to look a little bit different. So for the foam ones, or really just for both of them, I start by saturating my hair with water or leave-in, the mix that I usually use, and I do it from root to tip. Because in order for your hair to take the shape that you're trying to put it in, it has to be pretty flexible. So giving it this moisture kind of makes it a little bit more loose and easier to handle. You can either put your hair in a spiral around the roller, or you can roll it like this where it's to the side. Regardless, I've kind of seen that my curls are the same, but all I do is take the end part, line up with the end of the roller, secure that little end bit around, and then just continue rolling super, super tight. The length of time that you leave these in is a major factor, because if you only leave them in for like an hour or two and your hair's not dry, you're going to have curls, but they're going to be pretty floppy and they're going to fall fast. So the best thing to do is to leave them overnight. Or if you're doing them quicker, just put them in and then sit under a dryer or use a hand dryer and make sure that your hair is completely dry before you take them out, because if it's not dry, the curls won't hold. So that's how I do mine. I either use that leave-in to prep it or I use the foam. I've kind of seen the same results, but with the foam, it does dry a little bit quicker, so I've been using this more often overnight. And then once you put your hair up, it stays like this. But to make sure that it won't unravel, you can kind of twist the excess part back around. And that just makes it easier for you to sleep with it in. So for the cold wave ones, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to spray from root to tip, make sure it's saturated but not sopping wet. I like to use the smaller ones because the smaller the rod, the tighter your curls are going to be. So again, I just line it up towards the end, wrap that little end piece around, and start winding it up. I forgot this lock was a little shorter, but for my longer ones in the back, I don't like to use these because they exceed the length of them. So the curls that are more towards the top don't hold. But yeah, that's all you do. And then after this, you can either put a silk scarf on and go to bed or put a bonnet on. But you can do 2 or maybe even 3 locks if you're in a hurry and just rod it up really quick. The curls just aren't as voluminous, and I love volume, so I tend to keep it down to 1 lock per rod. Taking them out once they're dry is also another factor that will affect how long your curls are going to last. So to take the cold wave rod out, you just uncap it and you gently free your hair from it, kind of in a swirl pattern, just so that it can maintain its shape. And you can see already my hair is starting to form the curl pattern, and that's just because I saturated it with that leave-in conditioner. So yeah, just be very gentle with your curls, take your time taking them out, never rip them out. Hold it at the end, or at the top part rather, and gently unwind it. I will do a more detailed video on this because I love to curl my hair and it's something I do often, and y'all do ask me about it a lot, so another in-depth video will be coming for it, but that's just the gist. Alright, now for the final style, again, it is an overnight style. It's just simply a braid out. A braid out works the same way. You're just taking 3 strands of locks and braiding them. Now to start, you do want to saturate them with some foam. I use foam because this has a better hold, and braids are much thicker, so I need something that's going to help them be more secure. Now when I'm in a rush and I want to do a quick overnight style, I do about 6 locks per braid, because it just takes me less time. I still get the same effect even though it's not as defined, but if you want that super crinkly defined look, only do 3 locks per braid. So I saturate my locks from root to tip with foam. And for me, I think that only takes like maybe like 2 good pumps. I coat my hands in it, and I'll take the 3 and run my hands down the shaft of my hair. And once that's good and covered, I just braid. I'm not doing any twisting. This is a style I do pretty often. I absolutely love, because I just love when my hair has some texture. It just makes it worthwhile. It helps me kind of wait out getting a retwist. And then since your hair isn't retwisted, you already have a lot of volume at the roots. So once you have that volume up here and towards the base of your hair, it's just so full of life and gorgeous. Alright, so you may have a dilemma where some of your locks are shorter than others, like I do. So for this case, I just braid until I can't possibly braid the shortest one down anymore. And then from there, I will either seal it off by using a cold wave rod, or I'll 2-strand the 2 ends and then rubber band it. So to use that cold wave rod, if you were going to, just put it kind of at the end of where your braid is, take your excess hair and wrap it around. Don't be afraid to kind of pull it a little bit hard and have a firm hand with it because your hair does have to stay. And you're going to secure that cold wave rod, and that's how you sleep. Then you just tuck all your hair up under a bonnet and hit the bed. If you learned or plan to use a style from this video, make sure you like, comment your favorite style or any other lock content you guys want me to make, and subscribe for more. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.